On September 2014, a space probe launched by the Indian Space Research Organization prepared to enter the Mars orbit. Two years later, back on Earth, a team of scientists made their way through the icy deserts of Ladakh to study life in extreme conditions. It was an international group comprising scientists from NASA, the Mars Society Australia, and Birbal Sahni Institute of Palaeosciences, India's premier institute that has worked persistently since 1946 to generate a vast trove of knowledge in the field of palaeosciences, which has proven vital to our understanding of India's natural history. Such research generates invaluable data for scientists studying Mars, providing them with clues as to what life might look like in the extreme conditions of space. And the Birbal Sahni Institute of Palaeosciences is at the forefront of this effort, helping India and the world take great strides in understanding our planet.
Professor Birbal Sahni established this institute in 1946 to seeing the importance of these fossils, paleobotanical fossils, and he built this institute so that the evolution of life, evolution of plants, and then how life travels during different time span could be taken up. Over the years, institute diversified so much, and we realized that it is a time to bring all other disciplines in order to have a more sound basis and more reliable data in order to develop our past climate and past ecosystem.
Palaeosciences give us the clue that how life arose on Earth, what are the changes which has taken place over the period of millions of years, not only 1 or 2 years, and what are the catastrophic events which has taken place and that has destroyed the life. Life has not arose only once, it has arose several times, and it has manifested in different forms also. Consequently, every time when it was destroyed, then new forms came into being. So whatever the green life we see today, that is a manifestation of that evolution which has taken place over the millions of years.
Simply put, we cannot build a stable, sustainable future without understanding the past. And the Birbal Sahni Institute of Palaeosciences, India's premier institute dedicated to geology and botany, is at the forefront of developing this knowledge for India and the world. The formal study of the palaeosciences in India began with Professor Birbal Sahni, who is known as the father of Indian Palaeobotany. In 1939, 3 years after being elected as the Fellow of the Royal Society in London, Professor Sahni put together a committee to formalize the study of palaeobotany in India. In 1946, Professor Sahni's efforts led to the formation of a Palaeobotany Institute under the Botany Department of the Lucknow University. And 3 years later, the then Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, laid the foundation stone for the institute's building. However, just 7 days after the foundation had been laid, Professor Sahni passed away. But he had already laid the seed to grow India's study and knowledge of our own geological and biological history.
I think Professor Birbal Sahni should be credited for his really long-range vision and the dream with which he started the Dst-Bsip. The studies which he pertained or he envisioned, that study of ancient plants using macro or micro fossils, and now with the modernization of the science, with the advent of biogeochemistry, the genomics, ancient DNA, his dream is coming true. And who knew at that time at 1946 that this kind of research, finding out the tracing and tracking of the life on planet Earth would be so beneficial for our Indian Space Research Organization efforts to find out life or legacy of life on other planetary bodies.
In 1969, the institute Professor Sahni helped build was deemed as an autonomous research organization under the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. Initially, research was focused on the fundamental aspects of fossil flora, that is, ancient plant life which had turned into fossils. But over time, BSIP's mission evolved to include understanding the origin and evolution of life through geological time, understanding climate change in recent times and our ancient past, understanding past civilizations and human history, applying the principles of Palaeosciences to aid exploration programs of oil and coal industry. This mission, which guides BSIP's research efforts, not only enhances our understanding of the world, but actively seeks answers to some of our most pressing concerns, such as climate change and energy security. To carry out this mission, BSIP has embraced many branches of Palaeosciences. This includes biostratigraphic dating, which is establishing the age of rocks using fossils, correlating surface and subsurface sediments, radiocarbon dating, and exploring areas favorable for fossil fuel deposits and hydrocarbon exploration. The institute also regularly participates in paleoclimatic studies in the Arctic and Antarctic region. In its broadest sense, BSIP seeks to interpret geological processes, plant and environmental evolution through time. This makes it a truly interdisciplinary organization equipped with state-of-the-art facilities that help deepen our knowledge of the Indian atmosphere, lithosphere and biosphere.
When the institute was formed, there were three major areas in which the research was being done. One was to study the evolution, second was to study the climate, and third was to use of paleobotanical fossils in hydrocarbon research programs.
BSIP's mission is to study the past plant life and how that can be used for the benefit of the common man of India. So our mission is to first find the fossils, study them, and then take the lessons from them. What type of fossils are there? Are they able or capable of generating the energy resources, particularly the coal and gas? That is the one thing. And besides that, we want to study the legacy of our plant life.
Paleoscientists' work is like that of detectives. They study evidence to reconstruct past events. Their investigations and findings can have application for the present and the future. For instance, take the event called the Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum, which occurred nearly 55 million years ago. It was a great global warming episode which led the planet's temperature to increase by around 5 degrees Celsius. BSIP conducted megafloral, microfossil and vertebrate studies from that period. It led to an important advancement in building a modern picture of climatic and environmental change. The studies offer a glimpse into how life on our planet might change with increasing CO2 emissions. BSIP has carried out several studies pertaining to the Gondwana paleobiodiversity, which is one of the most important pillars of research at the Institute. These studies have helped reconstruct past floral diversity and its role in accumulation of the most vital source of solid fossil fuel, coal. Such knowledge can have practical applications in the present day. helping us find sources of fossil fuels. BSIP shares its expertise while collaborating with industries and other allied agencies, such as coal and oil exploration companies and academia focused on archaeology, paleoclimate and earth sciences in several countries. BSIP is also equipped to carry out climate leaf analysis multivariate program to study leaves found in fossils. One such analysis showed that an Asian monsoon system existed nearly 53 million years ago, while the modern South Asian monsoon system was most likely established around 23 million years later in the Oligocene period. Research carried out by BSIP in the Quaternary period has led to a deeper understanding of the summer monsoon, northeast monsoon and western disturbances in India. Such knowledge can help develop more robust agricultural policies in India. At the same time, many of BSIP's findings have also led India to form a better picture of her heritage. In 2020, BSIP researchers conducted the largest ever study of ancient human DNA in South Asia. The findings proved the hypothesis that agricultural practices in Indus Valley civilization were expanded from Neolithic Iran. The study also shed light on cropping patterns during various Harappan periods, which includes rice, a water-intensive crop, and millets, which are drought-resistant. It demonstrated human adaptation in response to climate variability. Such studies can inform policymakers as we stare at major climate events that could lead to a shortage of natural resources. BSIP also assisted the Archaeological Survey of India in the study of an excavation site. Carbon dating studies conducted by BSIP helped establish that the largest Harappan settlements were in fact in Haryana. While digging in an Eocene-era lignite mine in Bikaner, Rajasthan, BSIP researchers found a unique fossil of Dioscorea, a form of wild yam. This genus of plant is found typically in humid, tropical forests. While Rajasthan today is dry and has desert vegetation, this study suggests that millions of years ago, in the Eocene period, a tropical forest might have flourished in this part of the state. In fact, BSIP researchers also discovered a coconut fossil in 54 million-year-old sediments from Rajasthan. This indicates the existence of sea in the vicinity of the area. Similarly, a study in the Tirap mine of Assam led to the discovery of a 25 million-year-old Asian bamboo fossil, the oldest in the world. Another study conducted by the BSIP in Kargil showed that at the time when Himalayas were forming, the climate in the area was warm and humid, a far cry from the icy cold temperatures observed today. Such observations build a picture of India's geological past. BSIP has thus built up a vast knowledge base of how the planet, and particularly the South Asian region, developed through time. This foundation has put the institution in an ideal position to launch a foray into an exciting new area of science, astrobiology. Mangalyaan, or the Mars Orbiter mission, was a success, making India only the 4th country in the world to reach the Martian orbit.
astrobiology in India is a very new discipline, and it just started with the SBI India, the Spaceward Bound India, in 2016, for which BSIP was the nodal office. And here an international team that was working in the Mars researches, we took them to Ladakh to study the extreme environments, the hypersaline lakes, the hot springs of Chumathang, Puga, etc. And we found that area to be a very good analog for the Martian researchers. Similarly, the lunar crater, like you must be knowing that 18th February Perseverance is landing on the Mars, and it is landing on a crater site similar to lunar, on a basaltic rock. And out of the 190 craters that we have in the entire globe, only 4 of them are on the basaltic rock, and one is in Siberia, and 2 of them are in Argentina, and they're very remote. But this one, lunar, we all can go there, and already much work has been done there. So this is also one of the analog sites in which we are working.
BSIP is a place where we are dealing with the natural samples, whether it is a fossil sample or whether it is a sediment, rocks or soil. So when you are dealing with natural samples, you cannot compartmentalize it like a biological science or biological sample or chemical sample or physical sample. So you need all these kind of integrated in one place. And the uniqueness of this, that the experts of biological sciences, experts of chemical sciences, experts of physical sciences here, as well as their labs are also there. So it is very easy to interact and cross transfer the information from one discipline to another discipline, and this is the beauty of the institute.
This new field is about searching for extraterrestrial life, and for this it is crucial first to develop an understanding of how humans can detect new life. BSIP decided to open this new chapter after its participation in NASA's Spaceward Bound program in Ladakh, where studies were conducted to explore life in extreme conditions. These findings would be put to use while searching for extraterrestrial life on planets like Mars. Today, BSIP has decided to collaborate with 3 other institutes within India to answer questions on astrobiology. The institute has even set up a laboratory to search the evolution of life. Life on Earth is based on carbon. Similarly, life on another planet may be possible because of carbon or a similar element. The laboratory will find answers. For instance, we know that Mars has a rocky surface. BSIP will study if those rocks can harbor life. Such advanced studies would not be possible if it weren't for the state-of-the-art facilities at BSIP. The maceration facility at BSIP is among the best in the country, which allows the institute to carry out rigorous microfossil studies. Maceral studies along with coal petrography at BSIP are sought after by both the academia and industry. The institute also has the manpower and the infrastructure to practice palynology, that is, the study of pollen, dendrochronology, which is the study of tree rings, paleomagnetic and geochemical studies, and radiocarbon dating. Over time, the institute has upgraded its labs and today is filled with cutting-edge equipment. The isotopic ratio mass spectrometer, inductive coupled plasma mass spectrometer, gas chromatography mass spectrometer, and X-ray diffraction allow for the study of geochemical and mineralogical composition of samples. Meanwhile, field emission scanning electron microscope, Raman spectroscopy and confocal laser scanning microscope help scientists get an extremely close look at samples collected from the field. The existing radiocarbon dating laboratory has now been equipped with graphitic formation so that low carbon bearing samples can be dated in accelerator mass spectrometer. and in order to date extremely old sediments, a luminescence dating laboratory has been established by BSIP. With such infrastructure and a leading team of researchers, BSIP creates a rich environment of learning for scientists as well as industry. The institute conducts contract training program in palynology and coal and lignite petrography for industrial sectors. It also provides hands-on training in geochemistry and OSL dating. A PhD program too has been started under ACSIR guidelines for biological and physical sciences. BSIP has also set up a museum to preserve as well as inform the society of India's rich geological heritage. Professor Sahni's collections from all over the globe make the museum's repository particularly stunning. A special attraction is the building's foundation stone, which has 77 fossils embedded in it by Professor Sahni. This foundation stone was laid by the then Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. The in-house herbarium offers a comparison between present and past vegetation. In 2018, another special attraction was added to the museum's rich collection. A 4,200-year-old piece of stalagmite recovered from the Momlu cave in Meghalaya. The stalagmite represents Meghalayan, the newest time slice added to the Holocene epoch of the geological timescale. As we stand in the midst of a major climatic event, the future seems unknown, full of mysteries and challenges. What remains unchanged is the collective human will to build a better world. And to do that, we must understand our past. Birbal Sahni Institute of Palaeosciences stands at the edge of time. The institute is helping India's understanding of its own geological history, as well as contributing to world's knowledge of our planet. By studying the clues left behind by the past, the institute is helping India and the world build a better future.